This is a Babyjogger City Tour, and today we're going to be talking about maintenance of the brake system and how to adjust the brake system. So for such a small stroller, it's actually a relatively complex brake system. It has lots of small parts. There's a couple springs that normally go in here as well on both sides, and the pegs themselves are also a small spring element. What this means is that things can get misaligned, and because of all the springs, especially the small ones and the plastic parts, grit and stuff can get inside, which is not very happy for the stroller in general. But overall, it functions quite well. It's easily adjustable. You pop the brake on one side, and it pulls through a wire and pulls the pin up on the other side. I'll take off a wheel and show you. So there are these pins here, and as I apply them, they pop out and then connect into the holes on the back of the brake assembly of the wheel. Under this part of the shopping basket, which is buttoned in, we will find the wire. Just remove these buttons. This wire does sit in there loose, and if you find that something goes wrong with your buttons and it pops out, you don't want this wire hanging. It'll snag on things and get messed up. So you might want to use electrical strips to hold it if this is any sort of a problem for you, snagging. In the center, though, of this brake wire is an adjustment screw. And as I adjust this adjustment screw, you will notice that this pin on this side pops out more. It should not affect the pin on the opposing side. But this is the side you would generally have trouble with, because as grit and stuff gets inside, or perhaps some of the metal components rust, what you're going to find is that the wire is more slack. There can also be a little bit of pull on the wire here and there, and you might need to get this pin to stick out more. What you'll notice is that when you apply the brakes, this wheel does not fully brake, and that would be the time at which you would want to extend the adjustment screw, so that you can pull that brake pin a bit more out. On the other hand, if your trouble is actually that the brake pin is sticking too far out, in which case when you're driving it, you'll hear like a rattling sound as that pin hits the brake assembly here. Then you can look at this, and if it has been adjusted out, you can adjust it in, of course, and that will pull the pin more in to the assembly here, such that it won't come in contact with the brake system. For general maintenance of this system, because there is so much plastic involved, we recommend using a silicone spray, which you can just spray inside. If you want to go all the way with it, you can of course open up the brake mechanism. There are 3 screws on the back of each side. You can pull it out. Again, there are very many small components, lots of springs and pins and so on, so pay attention to how it goes together. Don't let those springs fly clear across the room and lose them. But if you do open it up, you can use a thicker grease like food industry grease or a car mechanic multi-purpose grease to grease it up. And if you're going to do anything just in the wire, it might be better to run WD-40 down it, as it is metal components, right? Where the wire slides through, and that might be more useful to you. So that would be more of a larger overhauling of the brake system. For general maintenance though, flip it on its side, use a little bit of silicone spray in there, all the way on its side so that it can run down inside. Flip it over, do the other side, and that should be enough. Again, you need to adjust it. It's the adjustment screw, and make sure that when you're done adjusting it, you put it back under here and button all the buttons so that that doesn't snag on stuff. So we hope this video has been helpful. If it has been, we ask that you subscribe, as it helps us to continue making videos in the future.